Hello everyone. Now let's talk about the social causes. See, French society was divided into three estates. That is, this first estate, second estate, and third estate. Now, this first estate consisted of clergy. Clergy means church people. So these were church people. Okay. Then second estate, it consisted of nobility. This name of the second estate was nobility, means all the nobles were there, like kings, ministers. Then there were higher authority people also. And these higher authority people, they were very close to the kings and ministers. So these type of people were there in the second estate, that is in nobility group. Then there existed third estate. And in this third estate also, there were three groups. First group was of big businessmen, merchants, courts, officials, lawyers. Then the second one was peasants and artisans. And the third one was small peasants, landless laborers, and servants. So this is how this third estate was there. Now let's understand what kind of situation was there with these people. See, here we can see, so now we are talking about the social causes. See, why actually this revolution happened? We talked about the political causes, and now we are talking about the social causes. So the society of the estate was part of the feudal system. So now understand what is feudal system. See, feudalism, it's a system that existed in the Middle Ages, right? So even French society at that time, that is before 1789, there existed this feudal system, and this continued, this was dated back to Middle Ages, means tab se ye chali aa rahi thi. And they use this term old regime. It is usually used to describe the society and institutions of France before 1789. So old regime was going on, means 1789 se pehle puri system, it was going on in the old regime. Okay. Now here you can see this this estates, different estates. Now it shows that how system of estates in French society was organized. So this is how the whole French society was organized. Like in first estate, it consisted of clergy people. Second estate, that was nobles like kings, ministers, and higher authority. And third estate. Now the thing is that peasants made up about 90% of the population. Means these peasants, so these people, these peasants, they made 90% of the population. So let's write down here. So they make 90% of the population. But look at this. This is 90% of the population, means major part of the populations is peasants and artisans and small peasants, right? However, only a small number of them owned a land they cultivated. Means from this only we understand that how strange it is. 90% of the population are, the peasants and artisans, and they make 90% of the population. But still, the land, it was not owned by these people, right? So about 60% of the land was owned by nobles, church, and other richer members of the third estate. This was of the third estate. Okay. All right. So 60% of the land. However, population का 90% peasants थे, but फिर भी 60% of the land किसको कौन occupy करता था? First estate, second estate, and these some richer group of the third estate. तो 60% land तो यही लोग occupy कर लेते थे, जबकि ये लोग कम थे, सिर्फ 10%. See the inequality. Only 10% people population, but they occupied 60% land. They owned 60% land, and these 90% people, they didn't own any land. Okay. So this was the situation at that time. Now, it was not only this. Church and other, these members of the first two estates, that is clergy and nobility, let's highlight it. So these members of the first two estate, that is clergy and nobility, they enjoyed certain privileges. So they were enjoying some privileges from the birth, because just because they were they were born in this system, so they were enjoying this privileges. And what were these privileges? See, the most important of these was exemption from paying tax. They didn't have to pay tax. These first estate and second estate people, that is clergy and nobility people, they didn't pay any tax. However, France was facing so much of a financial crisis, but still they were not paying any taxes to the state. Okay, so this was the first privilege. Then nobles further enjoyed feudal privileges. Now these nobles, they were enjoying feudal privileges also. What do we mean by feudal privileges? See, feudalism एक dominant social system थी जो कि middle Europe में चलती थी, medieval Europe में चलती थी, ठीक है? Now this feudal dues means feudal privilege means तब ऐसा होता था कि lower caste of को जो कि इन लोगों के लिए था this third estate, उनको higher caste को, that is first and second estate को कुछ पैसे देने पड़ते थे, right? So that was feudalism. Now, this feudal privilege, this included feudal dues. Feudal dues means they have to take money and services and so many kinds, gifts and everything in kinds also from the peasants. So they were extracting all these things from the peasants. And peasants were obliged, peasants also, they were obliged to render services to the land. Not only money, they have to give services to the land. मतलब वो टैक्स भी पे करेंगे, वो उनको सर्विस भी देंगे, उनका सारा काम भी करेंगे, और टैक्स पे करने के लिए उनको पैसे भी कमाने पड़ेंगे, right? Like, and what kind of services they used to render? These peasants used to render, like they used to work in their house fields, to serve in the army, participate in the building roads and etc. मतलब सारे constructions के जो भी काम होते थे उनमें भी उनको participate करना पड़ता था. आर्मी में भी उनको कभी कभी जाना पड़ता था, सर्व करना पड़ता था. तो मतलब सारे काम 90 ये जो 90% ऑफ दी लोग हैं पीजेंट्स है वही करते थे थर्ड एस्टेट में. और ये जो फर्स्ट सेकंड एस्टेट और थर्ड एस्टेट के जो रिच पीपल है उनको ये सारे काम नहीं करने होते थे, राइट? नाउ if we talk about church, now here we are talking about some taxes, okay? So what kind of taxes they used to take? Okay, so now let's talk about tax. See, the church extracted its shares of taxes called tithe from the peasants. So here you are given this tithe, a tax levied by church comprising of the produce 1/10 of the agricultural produce. तो ये जो church था, the church people, okay, that is first estate people, they extracted taxes called tithes. किससे? From the peasants. And finally, all members of the third estate had to pay taxes to the state. Now, see, चर्च को भी टैक्स देना पड़ता था और दूसरे टैक्स भी थे जो कि डायरेक्ट टैक्स थे. कुछ डायरेक्ट टैक्स थे और कुछ इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स थे. सो दीज इंक्लूडेड डायरेक्ट टैक्स, जिसको हम छाई कहते हैं या तो फिर टेल कहा जाता था, a number of indirect tax also. Means this style was direct tax. Okay, so this was put it here. So this was direct tax. And apart from this direct tax, there were number of indirect taxes also, which were levied on the articles on everyday consumptions. मतलब जो रोज की जो चीजें होती थी like salt and tobacco, उस पे भी उनको टैक्स पे करना पड़ता था. किसको? थर्ड एस्टेट को. And the burden of the financing activities of the state through tax was borne by the third estate alone. और ये सारी चीजें सिर्फ थर्ड एस्टेट ही पे करती थी. only third estate. Okay, so these were the problems which were faced by the third estate people because of the unfair division of the system, unfair system of the society of the French society, right? So what we have seen, let's just quickly look at it. हम बात कर रहे हैं social causes की. Social causes में basically हम बात कर रहे हैं French society किस तरह से divide हो रही है. At that time French society was divided into three estates, first, second and third. First में clergy लोग थे जो कि church people थे. Second में nobility जो कि king's ministers थे. थर्ड में बिजनेसमैन थे, रिच पीपल भी थे और पुअर पीपल भी थे, बट ज्यादातर टैक्स पुअर पीपल को पे करना पड़ता था, ज्यादातर काम भी पुअर पीपल को पुअर पीपल को करना पड़ता था, लाइक पीजेंट्स एंड आर्टिजन्स को, उनको ही सारे काम करने पड़ते थे, उनको ही सारा बर्डन लेना पड़ता था, राइट? So this was the condition. Then we talked about the taxes. There were this tax called tithe, which was taken from by church from the peasants. फिर टेल करके एक टैक्स था जो कि डायरेक्ट टैक्स था, वो भी पीजेंट्स को ही, थर्ड एस्टेट को ही पे करना पड़ता था. फिर उसके अलावा कुछ इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस थे जो कि थर्ड एस्टेट को अगेन पे करने पड़ते थे, राइट? सो दिस इज हाउ द होल वे, लाइक जो ये थर्ड एस्टेट के लोग हैं उसमें भी पीजेंट्स और स्मॉल पीजेंट्स जो कि लैंडलेस लेबरर्स थे, सर्वेंट्स थे, उनकी सिचुएशन काफी हद तक बुरी थी. और ये भी कुछ कॉजेज रहे उनको फ्रेंच रिवॉल्यूशन के लिए. तो ये पिक्चर आप देख सकते हो दैट दिस पुअर फेलो, he brings everything like grains, fruits, money, salad. The fat lord sits here. This is fat lord. He's just sitting there, just ready to accept it all. He doesn't even care to grace him with a look. Means वो उसकी तरफ देख भी नहीं रहा है ऐसा. And this picture is they have given this name, the spider and the fly. So he's spider, okay? Like spider eats the fly, so they are trying to tell that he's eating them, okay? So, and this peasant, he is kind of a fly, okay? So the nobleman is the spider and the peasant the fly. So इस तरह से ये पूरा system work कर रहा था. Now in our next video we will talk about the struggle to survive.